This field that I'm standing in is a field that was sort of thought up as how I can implement cover crops into soybeans. Going with in no-till soybeans, typically they mature later, just because they come up later, and the fact that they don't have that soil temperature and sun, seed to soil, and heat to really get it emerged. So it's about a week or so behind conventional or ridge-tilled beans. Anyways, was trying a variety of 1.4 bean, and the reason I chose this bean is because, for one, it yields well, yields up there with the 1.7 to 2.0 beans, and if I can get a little faster leaf drop, and then I could come in earlier and get a cover crop established earlier. So it seemed to work out, and applied the cover crops a little over a week ago, and so they're starting to germinate and grow. So some challenges with implementing cover crops into soybeans are just weed resistance and controlling weeds. And why I say that is because of the residual that you're putting on. We're starting to put a residual on as a pre and kind of in season, and so the length of that can hinder you from establishing a cover crop. Water and heat units in the fall, and so the later the soybeans are mature, like the later they mature, the harder they are to get established. And there's such a dense canopy, and then coming in the spring and having a burn down. I was already going to do a burn down, and so having some controlled growth there with covers was not a big deal. So for my system, it's on that half of it's been an easy implementation. There are other struggles that I see if I want to implement it onto going into corn. Soybeans we drill our soybeans, and that's a problem because it canopies early, which is good for weed control, but it comes really late in order to establish a cover crop, and so flying it on in September and maybe possibly not getting rain and it coming off cool, getting an established cover crop is a lot harder to do. So that's been a problem, maybe not a problem, but a difficult issue to work around. And so last year I thought about, I've seen this 1.4 maturity soybean, and it's yielded really well from the studies that and the yield results that I've seen.